Is it hard to be fresh if you don't have money, or can you still pull it off?
See, when I ain't had no money, I still had sauce. See, if you don't got no sauce, then you're lost. But you can also get lost in the sauce.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another episode. Today I'm going to show you guys how to fix that annoying fuel gauge when it goes out. It's super pain in the butt when you don't know how much gas you have, you didn't set your tack from when you went and filled up your tank, and it gets super annoying. So I'm going to show you guys how to fix that problem. But before, I just want to give you guys a quick update on this EK K-swap car that I have been working on. I don't know if you guys saw the post that I put on Instagram and on YouTube here as well. I was asking you guys some questions about the K24 swap in a EK. You got to replace the housing, you got to replace everything. I went ahead and did that. I got the car up in the air, so you can't really see too much right now. Actually, you know what? Let me get it so you guys can see. Give me just a minute. All right, so here's a better look. The power steering pump that I went to the junkyard and got, obviously it all fits now. I was also having an issue where that bolt was so close with that old housing. It all sits really nice now. I just got to go ahead and put the alternator on. I'll do that later today. But everything else looks really nice. I got the belt, so we'll just put all that on and we will be all good to go. But all of this housing needs to come off if you have a JDM K24. So you gotta remove it all. Alternator has to be replaced. The mounts on it are completely different. Same with the power steering pump and the compressor. You gotta take that off because that mounts directly to the housing as well. It looks like that compressor will work. But that one is also a K20 from a K20A2, so a JDM one would not work. But we already had that one ordered, so we got that on and we were all good. So later I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. I'll make another video of that probably. But now let's go ahead and get to the reason you guys are watching this video. Let's go ahead and fix that fuel gauge. All right, so if your fuel gauge is not working like this car is, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is first start by removing the bottom seat. This part here needs to come out so that way we can get access to where the fuel pump is and also the fuel sending unit. So I'm going to go real fast and go ahead and just remove this seat part. Alright, so there's a couple seats to get this bottom piece of the seat out. You could be sitting here struggling for a while, but if you know these little tricks, it'll take you just a few seconds. First, back here, you'll be able to reach through the cushion. You're going to have a 10mm bolt, so that's the only bolt that's going to hold the seat down. Once you take that out, this corner over here, this just pops out. So all you got to do is just pull straight up on it. Same thing on this side, you just got to pull straight up on it. Once you got those all out, this hook kind of comes in, so you just got to push on the seat backwards. Once you push it backwards, it'll come out of its groove and the whole seat will be out. Just with those little tricks right there, it makes it 10 times easier getting that seat out. So there you guys go. Now that we got it out, we just got to go ahead and remove this little cover piece here. So we just got to get a Phillips head. We got 4 screws. Boom. We'll get those out and then we'll have our access.
I'm Gucci Mane, sugar lost in the sauce.
Now that we got this shield here removed, you're going to want to go ahead and remove the plug right here that attaches the fuel sending unit. Then it also has another one here as well. And then this one goes to the fuel pump. The reason I unplugged that and why you want to unplug it is just so you can get this all the way out of the way. Makes it easier when you're trying to remove the whole sending unit. Also, there's a little tab right here on the side of it where this clip holds onto. This is for like the harness for both of them. So it holds on right there. You just have to pull on the tab, get this off of that little arm tab right there. That way you can go ahead and remove this. And then you're going to see we got a bunch of 10mm bolts. So we're just going to go ahead and take those out. We're going to go ahead and just pull this whole unit straight out. Sweet. So we got the fuel sending unit out. I just want to show you guys what part it is that goes bad. It is this sensor right here. And what happens is a lot of times it gets dirty. You can see where this part right here, this where the lever makes connection with this board. These things get really dirty. I have multiple times just cleaned that off. You can get like a brake cleaner and a rag and just clean it, and then it will work for a little bit. But that's the thing, it won't really work for too long. I've had them work for like a couple months. One worked for like 6 months or like a year, and then I just ended up replacing it. This is a customer's car, so we're just going to go ahead and replace it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab it, go ahead and put it back in, and get that gas gauge working. All right, then just go ahead and repeat the process to get it all put back in. The customer, I noticed they had a seatbelt buckle down here hidden. They didn't put it through. I guess at some point in time, somebody must have like replaced the fuel pump or something, or they just removed the seats. They didn't put this through, and it was sitting down here and got all rusted. So I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it. I grabbed another one off of the other Civic I had in the back. Man, look at the difference. Crazy. This car was definitely from up north, because you don't really see that stuff happen here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in, and then we'll go ahead and test that fuel sensor. Make sure our fuel gauge is working. All right, so I went ahead and turned it over a few seconds ago just to make sure it was working, and it is working good. I wanted to show you, for the guys out there that don't want to go buy a fuel sending unit, or it's not for a customer, it's for your personal car, and you're trying to do it on a budget. Want to go more in depth with it, how you can clean it to make it work, because sometimes you can clean it and get a decent amount of time on it. If you're working on your own car, it's good. Just if it's a customer's car, you don't want to make them pay labor twice. So that's why I just went ahead and replaced it. So I wanted to go a little bit more into depth for the guys out there that do want to clean their sensor, don't want to buy it, or it's not for a customer's car, it's for your own personal car. Reason it's for a customer's car, you don't want to just try to clean it and put it back in, or without letting the customer know, is because you don't want the customer to have to pay for the labor twice. But if it's your own personal car and you're trying to do it on a budget, this would definitely be the easiest way. And it's, it really doesn't take that long. It's just a couple bolts. So right here you can see, like I was telling you before, this little switch right here just floats up and down, just depending on how much gas you have in it. Well, it wears away and it gets debris and stuff in between there and just doesn't make a good connection. So if you sit there and clean it real good, you can put brake cleaner on it, just clean it as much as possible, put it back in, and more than likely it will work. I have had them over time, they just go right back out, they get dirty again, and it does the same thing. But if you are just trying to do it on a budget, that is an easy way just to clean it, put it back in. Like I said, it's just a couple bolts, super easy to take in and out, so it wouldn't be that big of a problem if you do got to replace it later down the road. Alrighty guys, I hope this video helped you get your fuel gauge working again. That way you don't get stranded on the side of the road. I know it is a pain in the butt trying to keep an eye on it, and setting your tack when you fill up, making sure you're around what it is, and sometimes you don't watch it. So that's just one thing that you really don't want. It's good to have a gas gauge. Definitely good to have a gas gauge. So I hope this video did help you guys. As always, go ahead and like and subscribe. I'm gonna go ahead and get back on that EK K-Swap car, and I'll probably just make another video here later today. As always guys, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
You don't got no sauce, then you're lost. But you can also get lost in the sauce.